Hello everyone, my name is Sydney Haig, and today I'm here to discuss with you my newfound company, Temp-Right Medical, and our new application that we've newly come out with, Temp-Right Med. I would like to take this time to discuss with you my company, our application, and its benefits. Let's focus our attention over to our presentation so I can better explain these topics to you. Alright, as you can see, we've set up a nice presentation here to show you the different topics that we would like to cover today. Let's start with company information. Company information. Over to the left side, you can see here, we've listed some topics that we would like to cover. Temp-Right Med was established in 2019. We designed the application Temp-Right Med. Temp-Right Med is an application that uses sensors to detect if medication temperatures have gone outside of their acceptable range. Temp-Right Med also serves as a reminder tool to alert you when it's time to take your medication in the correct dosage. Over on the right side here, you can see our actual logo. It has the prescription bottle, our logo's name, and it's in a teal and black color. Alright, next let's move on to employee agreement. So when you are hired on with Temp-Right, there's a couple things that we would like to cover with you. Okay, when Temp-Right Medical chooses to hire new employees, they must sign an employee agreement form. The employee agreement form is a set basis of terms and agreements that the new employee must abide by in reference to being hired. The provisions are fair and appropriate for the protection of the employer's interest. So basically, when you're hired on with us, we just kind of want to protect ourselves and protect you in the same matter. So let's move on to some onboarding. Alright, here's the onboarding process for Temp-Right Med. When hired, the employer and employee will go over several aspects. Those aspects include the onboarding process, confidential information, and of the company and third-party information. First, the company must acknowledge they have been hired by the company and that the company will have the right to terminate. Second, the employee acknowledges and agrees that confidential information constitutes a valuable asset of the company and it will be sole property of the company. Third, the employee acknowledges that the company has and may receive more confidential information from third parties. Next, let's talk about the offboarding process. Employees will return all company property. All work property will be solely owned by the company. There will be a non-competition, non-solicitation period. There will be remedies for the company, meaning the former employee will pay for any damaged equipment or non-returned equipment. Any notices or other forms of communication will be formally written and hand-delivered. Next, let's move on to the types of forms. So there are a couple forms that can be presented with the following types of descriptions to the employees. First one can be a termination certificate. There can also be an employee statement regarding employee's prior work product, and also a notification to employee of California Labor Code Section 2870. Next, let's move on to our beta test agreement. The beta test agreement states that by downloading, installing, or using the beta software, user agrees unconditionally to the terms of the beta test agreement. If you do not agree with these terms, do not download, install, or use this beta software. So if you're not going to agree with our terms, do not download our software. Let's go over the agreements. There are 12 of them, so bear with me. First one, age and capacity, no conflict of interest. You must be 18 years of age or older. Number 2, beta test license. You may only install the single copy once granted. Number 3, test period. You are licensed to only use the beta software during the test period. Number 4, registration and personal information. You may be required to provide the vendor certain personally identifiable information. Excuse me. Alright, here's number 5 through 8. Number 5, automated reporting. Beta software may be configured to periodically check your computer system for anonymous information and report back to the vendor. Number 6, updating. Beta software may contain an automatic update feature that may gather information from your computer in connection with this updating functionality. Number 7, ownership. You acknowledge and agree that the beta software is proprietary product of the vendor. Number 8, feedback. You agree to evaluate the beta software. And here we have 9 through 12. 9, confidential information. All information will be property of the vendor. Number 10, restrictions. You are not to disclose results, work around technical limitations, reverse engineer, publish beta software for others to copy, rent, lease, or lend beta software, or transfer beta software to a third party. Number 11, disclaimers. You acknowledge that the beta software has not been completely tested and may contain defects. Number 12, general. You may not assign or transfer the agreement, beta software, or license contained without the consent of a vendor. Lastly, we will discuss why should you choose Temp-Right Med. Temp-Right Med allows you to take insight on whether your medication maintained appropriate temperature ranges during transportation. It reminds you when to take medication and the correct dosage, easy usage right at your fingertips, and it's inexpensive. So Temp-Right Med is honestly the best answer for you. It's going to allow you to use the sensors to see whether your medication has maintained that appropriate temperature during transportation, because as we all know, when some medications reach a certain temperature, they're no longer good and they're not going to serve the purpose that they're meant to serve. It's also going to remind you when to take your medication and the dosage. That's very important. As people get older or their lives get busier, they often forget that it's time to take their medication. Also, it's right at your fingertips because it's an application that can be installed on your phone. You can have it with you anywhere that you go. And our application is also very inexpensive. We wanted everyone to be able to use it, so we decided to make it very inexpensive. So, this is Sydney Haig, and I want to thank you for giving me your time of the day to be able to discuss with you my new company and our application. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.